Hey guys, this is Basketball Star 1130. I'm back today with my Week 2 picks. I know last week in my Week 1 picks, NFL Week 1 picks video, I said I would be doing these every Tuesday night, which would have been last night, but I had to push this to late Wednesday afternoon, just because I had a lot of schoolwork yesterday, and I couldn't do it this morning because today was a virtual learning day for me in high school. So, yeah, but these are Week 2 picks. Expect these to go back to the regular Week 2 schedule. It's just an off week for me, a lot of work and stuff, and because, again, the virtual learning day today. So, yeah, let's get started. So, first, tomorrow night, Thursday night football, kicking off our Week 2 picks video here. We got Thursday night football, Bengals and Browns. Again, this is probably going to be a bad game. Not bad, but not much firepower and everything. Both defenses probably give up a lot of points. So yeah, and I heard maybe like the Browns are willing to trade OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. to whatever team they can to get him out of Cleveland. I don't know if that's true or not, but if PFF reports it, then it's probably true, because PFF is one of the best internet sites in terms of like rumors and speculation, and a lot of their rumors and speculation becomes true. But I'm going to pick the Bengals here. Maybe not an upset, like I said. AFC North always plays each other tough, but the Ravens beat the Browns, the Ravens beat the Browns handedly. They whooped them last week. The final score was 38-6. The Ravens beat the Browns 38-6. Not the other way around. Ravens beat the Browns 38-6, which I expected. Lamar Jackson went off. So yeah, I'm pretty close to calling Baker Mayfield a bust. On his first drive this season, everyone said last year was just a fluke, but on his first drive this season, he throws an interception. If by week 5 he doesn't get better, I might be tempted to call him a bust at this point in his career. I know it's only his third year, but still. So yeah, I think Joe Burrow and AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, all those guys will get it done. So yeah, I have the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Browns, even though the Bengals are away. Next, Broncos at Steelers. This is actually like sneaky tough. I'm going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just even if they were, if the Broncos. Maybe not. I'm gonna go say even if the Steelers were away, I would pick the Steelers. I would pick the Steelers. They have a great, maybe the best wide receiver group in the NFL with their starters, Juju Smith-Schuster and James Washington on the outside, and then Deontay Johnson in the slot. He was getting a lot of production on Monday night against the Giants, on Monday Night Football against the New York Giants, and then they also have Chase Claypool. So they have a lot of good wide receivers there. But Broncos, it was just announced today that Philip Lindsay will get more will be out for several weeks here going forward. So I'll mention our big injury later in the video once we get to that team. But Philip Lindsay out for several weeks. So if you're a fantasy owner, and if Melvin Gordon's available, I don't know why he would be in your waiver while you're a free agent. But if he is, you pick him up right away. And my brother has Melvin Gordon. I just told him he's gonna get big production. So yeah, good for Melvin Gordon. So I picked Steelers to beat the Broncos. Next, Lions and Packers. I am picking the Packers here. This is relatively easy for me. The Vikings defense was supposed to be way better than it was, and the pass rush. Maybe it's just because they placed Danielle Hunter on IR. The 3 week, he's going to be out for at least 3 weeks. Danielle Hunter, that is. But it was bad and brutal. Like, the Packers put 43 points. And Aaron Rodgers, I think he could literally close his eyes and not even look, but just blindly throw it up, and he won't even the receiver would come down with it. Alan Lazard and whatever his name is, Alan Lazard and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I'm just gonna call him MVS in these videos. Alan Lazard and MVS. They had not huge games. They had. Jeez, I can't talk today. They had relatively good games. But yeah, and also. So did, Geronimo Allison's gone in the Lions now, but he opted out of the season. And the Lions would have won on game-winning touchdown. Mitchell Trubisky came live in the fourth quarter for the Bears. But we're not in the Bears, and I'll get more in depth about that when we get to the Bears matchup. But yeah, once they face the Giants. But Mitchell Trubisky comes alive in the fourth. DeAndre Swift dropped a wide open ball. Rookie running back. He is a rookie, but you got to catch it. Like, anyone's got to catch that. I mean, seriously. I mean, it was wide open. They would have won. So, yeah, but that's why I'm picking Packers over Lions. Next, we got Jaguars and Titans. Gardner Minshew only had one incomplete pass. It's like a joke. Maybe he'll have like three or four incomplete passes in this game against the Titans defense. But it's just like a joke thing. Because he only had one last week. 95% completion rate. Laviska Shenault went off. They have some decent wide receivers. Laviska Shenault, DJ Chark, D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole. I guess he'll probably be gone after this year, though. He's either a free agent or they're going to cut him. I think he's a free agent, actually. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Titans. Even if the Jaguars were... the Jaguars are hyped up, though, after that big win. I'm not going to say anything else, but I am picking the Titans. Next, Bills at Dolphins. Sorry for not doing a Bills vs. Jets preview last week, and I won't be able to do my reaction. This is my initial thoughts, though. The Jets are terrible. They're probably the worst team in football. Sam Darnold, if you can get Trevor Lawrence this year, draft him. Or Justin Fields, maybe, or even Trey Lance. But probably Trevor Lawrence. Sam Darnold isn't the guy. Sam Darnold is not a franchise quarterback. I'm picking the Bills. The Dolphins are starting Fitzpatrick. Moving on. I won't give away anything else because I will do a preview this week. Just didn't have time last week. Next week. Next, Panthers at Buccaneers. Okay, Buccaneers. Moving on. No, I'm kidding. But Buccaneers, their first couple drives, they look okay. Especially the first drive was like, oh, this is really good. Mike Evans only had 2 catches on the day, and he didn't have them till the fourth quarter, which is really alarming and concerning. But again, it's week 1. But I think Tom Brady will be able to throw all over this Carolina Panthers defense, especially their defense line is actually okay with Brian Burns. Mario Edison left for the Bills, but their secondaries are rough. So maybe one of the worst in the NFL. So yeah. Next, Rams at Eagles. This is tough, man. I'm gonna go with the Rams. Like, this is just a split on the spot decision here. Into this video, I was going, okay, the Eagles will win. I didn't do my predictions yet, but the Eagles will win because like it's the Rams. You know, I thought they would be bad this year, 7-9 to maybe push for 9-7, 10-6 season, but I think the Rams will ride the hot hand. Their defense played amazing. Their secondary played amazing. I think it's underrated or overrated, depending how you look at it. They have Taylor Rapp at safety. Troy, who's a second-year guy. Troy Hill. Taylor Rapp went to Washington. Troy Hill, I forgot what college he went to. But, yeah, and then the Eagles' secondary isn't very good because they lost Malcolm Jenkins. They basically have Rodney McLeod, and they cut Cre'Von LeBlanc. So it's basically Rodney McLeod, and that's it. And Sidney Jones didn't pan out. Obviously, he got signed by the Jaguars practice squad, but he got elevated last week, and they're going to sign him for the whole season. Anyway, that's not really relevant. Well, it is, but anyway, so I think that Jared Goff looked good in the Rams game. Cowboys didn't get enough pressure. I was expecting more pressure from Tantari Poe and Alden Smith was pretty good. He out of the league in 5 hasn't played in a game in 5 years. Out of the league for the past 5 years before this past Sunday night matchup against the Rams because of off the field and legal trouble with the police and everything. Legal trouble. So yeah, but Alden Smith. So he's pretty good. But I've been impressed by him. So yeah, I think the Rams will win though. Because the Eagles, their offensive line can't protect for nothing. Like, they lost Brandon Brooks. They lost Andre Dillard for the season as well. And Lane Johnson will play this week, but he's not going to be 100% because he got beat up. He didn't play last week. So, yeah. Anyway, next we got Giants and Bears. I'm going to pick the Bears just because this Giants defense is not very good. Daniel Jones looked good other than the 2. The first interception wasn't his fault. The second interception, he has to learn to throw the ball away. Not play hero ball just like Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's better. Obviously, learn to throw the ball away. Mitchell Trubisky comes alive in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, but I think he'll have more of a complete game, Trubisky, in this game. So, yeah, but... And Daniel Jones, the Bears' defense wasn't like nearly as dominant as it's going to be all year moving forward in week 1. Last week, against the Lions. I think it will be much better, much improved. Okay, 3, 2, 1, picking the 49ers against the Jets. Moving on. Like I said, Jets are worst team in football. Don't really need to explain. Moving on, this one's going to be a blowout. Falcons and Cowboys. Cowboys are home. I'm going to pick Cowboys. Even if the Falcons are home, I would pick the Cowboys. Like I said, Dak was kind of off. Dak had actually a above average game. He didn't have a bad game at all, like himself. But the Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, I don't think that was an offense pass interference call. It was a garbage call in my opinion, but whatever. I guess it was. But yeah, but I think the Cowboys will win. I think they'll get more pressure this week against that Falcons young offensive line. They have Caleb McGarry, and I always forget the other one. And Chris Lindstrom, that's right. So yeah, but Chris Lindstrom is out of Boston College, and Caleb McGarry, I believe, is out of Washington. So yeah. That's that. Next, Vikings at Colts. Xavier Rhodes going up against his old team. I am going to pick the Minnesota Vikings here, so the Colts will drop to 0-2 in the year. They really Phillip Rivers looked good in the first half, especially the first quarter mainly, and then he kind of fell off. He struggled a lot at halftime, especially in clutch time in the fourth quarter. He was not good at all. Paris Campbell though broke out in my opinion. He had a really really good game. So yeah. Yeah, but the Vikings win there. Next, and I think the defense will be much, much better. Last week was just horrible, awful for that Minnesota Vikings defense. Next, we got the Washington football team traveling to Arizona to play the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals will win here, even though the Washington football team's defensive line and pass rush is scary. You got Matt Ioannidis, Ryan Kerrigan, who received the game ball. I saw the locker room speech video at post game. Matt Ioannidis, Ryan Kerrigan, Chase Young, who could be the sack leader as a rookie. Maybe Von Miller would have been, but he got injured. So Matt Ioannidis, Chase Young, Ryan Kerrigan, Jonathan Allen. So yeah, and then I think the Cardinals will win that one. Kyler Murray, it was like 4th and 17. He ran it in for a touchdown. He changed directions so quick. Like he was going straight and then he changed to the left and then to the right to go around. His lateral movement is amazing. And DeAndre Hopkins is Texans looks more stupid now than they did before. Because they traded him away and he looked amazing. Next, Ravens and went too far. Sorry about that. Ravens and Texans. I'm going to pick the Ravens. Deshaun Watson had a decent game against the Chiefs, but the Texans defense couldn't control the run game against Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they're going to even have more trouble with a really four-headed monster in Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins, Justice Hill, and Gus Edwards. So, I mean, they're going to have to stack the line in the run defense. So, yeah. Speaking of running backs, last week, Saquon Barkley had like 21 carries or 22 carries. I don't remember the amount of carries, but only had 6 yards rushing. That's terrible. And I mean awful for a guy of his caliber. Okay, that was just a little side note. Moving on. Next, we got Chiefs at Chargers. I'm going to say the Chiefs win. The Chargers will have to run early with Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson. Joshua Kelly had a pretty good game too. But I was thinking of picking him up, and I'm like even drafting him in ESPN Fantasy Football. But I was like, I'm not doing it because I already have 2 Chargers running backs, Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson. I started both of them. Bad mistakes. Yeah, but Chiefs will win here, I think. Moving on. Next, Patriots at Seahawks. I think Seahawks. Russell Wilson was great last week, and I mean amazing. He even received the NFC Offensive Player of the Week today. But I think the Seahawks will blow out the Patriots. Yes, I said it. Maybe the well, maybe not. I think the Seattle Seahawks will blow out the New England Patriots. Yeah, so Cam Newton, he had 2 touchdowns. They were both rushing, but he can't run that much, in my opinion. He said he felt like his old self, but whatever. He's going to have to throw in these situations against these Seahawks defense. Next, Saints at Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to pick the Saints. This is easy for me. Some people saying the Raiders could upset, but this is easy for me. So, but Saints lost Michael Thomas for the year. So I think I'm going to, not for the year, several weeks. That would be bad if it was really bad. Unfortunately, it's for the year. But they lost Michael Thomas for several weeks with a high ankle sprain. And those injuries can linger. So, like a hamstring injury, high ankle sprain. So, sprain. Yeah, that's not a good injury to have. all injuries are bad, but especially that one. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Traquan Smith up in fantasy. I think that's all my picks. Yep, 16 out of 16 picks made. Okay, I'm gonna submit here. Okay, so thank you for watching. If you guys want to see me do fantasy football content, let me know in the comments below. I'll take any suggestions. Anyways, guys, this is Vespa Star 1130. Thank you for watching my Week 2 NFL Week 2 picks. Thanks for watching. Bye.